possibilities. And we have Heather and Jerry here to talk to us about that. So come along and introduce the possibilities.
Around the house and companionship in return for affordable accommodation. So once interviewed, DBS checked and matched with the compatible housemate, the team, myself and Heather, monitors the arrangement from trial period until the end of the match, all with face-to-face visits. So there is no personal care involved. So what we're talking about is tasks such as cooking, cleaning, shopping, gardening, taking the dog for a walk, or even having a brew and watching some Corrie together. Home share helps people help each other using their existing assets, whether it be a spare room, or some spare time, or even the companionship and the capacity to care. Home share is needed as we have an ageing population, a growing care gap, a shortage of affordable homes, and an increasingly disconnected society, where people in their 20s and those over 65 are some of the most isolated. Home share supports an ageing population to age in their chosen communities. Home share utilises existing under-occupied housing stock, reduces social isolation, enables independent living at home for longer, connects people of diverse backgrounds, and helps build a more cohesive, understanding society. Home share also enables younger generations to access safe, homely housing, therefore facilitating their access to greater educational and employment opportunities, whilst also saving for their future.
So, home share is mutually beneficial, it's low cost, it is about as person-centred as it gets, because to make a good match we have to really get to know our participants. We ask people about everything from where they grew up, what their job was like, to what kind of foods they enjoy, to how they like to spend their weekend. In our scheme, both the householder, that's the person who provides the home, and the home sharer, the person who moves in and provides 10 hours a week of help around the house, pay a monthly fee. The person who moves in pays £150 per month, plus a contribution to bills, and the person who provides the home pays just £100 per month. In this way, Possibilities Home Share is merely facilitating an arrangement, a mutually beneficial arrangement between two adults with capacity. In this way, we're redistributing the responsibility for the arrangement and payment of social care onto the recipient. Home share is absolutely an example of asset-based community development, and it harks back to that same enablingness that we're talking about with Evermore. Equally, home share redistributes that responsibility for us supporting each other to within the community, instead of it residing within statutory bodies. It empowers people to provide mutually beneficial support. At the moment, families provide 92% of informal care. Home share can be a godsend for those families who are living at a distance, or equally the growing populations of people who are ageing without children. So, what would an increasingly uptake of home share mean for us? Although home share has actually been in the UK for over 25 years, and there are over 25 home share schemes across the UK, not to mention myriad home share schemes internationally, as far wide as Australia, Korea, and France. The unfamiliarity of home share, the lack of recognition that we have across the UK, produces blockages and reluctance for statutory services to provide referrals. Equally, it means that people are more hesitant to engage with home share, and when they do engage with it, it's often at a point where it's too late, when someone's needs have become too great to be supported within a home share arrangement, and actually something like residential support might be more appropriate. So, equally, if we had greater uptake of home share, that would mean a greater pool of people. That would mean we would be able to make matches faster, compatible matches, matches where people have real things in common, not just compatible routines, but shared interests. Remember, we're creating the foundations for friendships in home share, not just some nameless, faceless lodger. Home share is a low-cost support option for those with often unmet needs. So therefore, wider uptake of home share could produce a prevention or delay in relocation to residential care by helping to maintain people's independence. It can also really tackle those long, ever-stretching out council house waiting lists. Home share helps to keep people mentally and physically active, as well as socially active. It gives people the confidence and the motivation to explore their local community. It improves people's mental and physical well-being, and therefore it can help us to save money as far as other health and social care services are concerned, and can also delay the need for intervention of other services.
I'm going to push you for time. We've got just a last word there.
So home share can contribute to digital inclusion as well as moving packages, support falls prevention, home from hospital, support for those with dementia, support for carers and support for those with disabilities. We know that home share isn't for everybody, we know that, but it should be an option for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Deborah. And great tag team work. That was really good. So, questions, thoughts, reflections? Colin.
Hi there. One of my questions really is about boundaries and about how both sides understand and respect the boundaries that each may have in terms of demands and expectations. So how is that negotiated and managed?
So we personalise every single home share agreement. So things such as, is someone a vegan? Is somebody vegetarian? Can somebody go to this space in home? That is all documented. We also do all of our monitoring face-to-face. So if somebody has a problem, everything is face-to-face. We also have a 24-hour helpline as well for possibilities. So if anything was to arise, it will be dealt with necessarily straight away.
Yeah, so the home share agreement is pretty much a document that sets out the expectations for both parties. So that could be how someone wants their 10 hours a week to be utilised, so whether that's sharing meals or having the dog walked, to number of nights that you're expected to stay in the property. And that's part of what we evaluate whenever we're monitoring a match, is making sure that that agreement is still reflective of the arrangement.
Yes, Sharon, go for it.
Thanks. I just wondered, is there a minimum amount of time you would expect someone to sign up for, say, they're going to move in with somebody and for a minimum of, what is the minimum?
So the minimum period is 3 months, but everyone has a phased introduction and a month's trial period. And equally, so there is no rent in home share, there's that monthly fee that comes direct to the home share scheme, and that avoids creating a tenancy. So if there are ever any issues in gross misconduct, then people can be evicted without any issues. But 3 months is the minimum. At the moment, across the UK, the longest active home share match has been going for 5 years, and typically the average amount of that home share lasts is 9 months. That's really skewed by a lot of London schemes, and the two most common reasons for a home share coming to an end are that the person providing the home needs to move into residential care, or the home sharer needs to move on to access other job opportunities.
Any other questions? No? Thank you very much, Gemma. That's great. Okay, well, moving us on then, we are now going to hear from Belong Villages, or Belong Village Crew specifically, and I have Natalie Ravenscroft and Stacey McGann to come and tell us about some of their work around silver crime.
Good afternoon, it's lovely to be here. I'm Stacey McGann, I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Belong Villages, and I'm going to give you a really quick overview of the operation first, and Natalie's going to talk about Silver Pride. So Belong is a charitable non-profit making organisation. We specialise in dementia care, and through extensive amount of research and innovation, we've come to a community village setting model where people are living in households. The buildings, we have 7 villages at the moment, but we're actually building 2 more, and they will be open in 2019. And our buildings reflect the need to keep people as independent well-being as best we can. The villages provide a hub as well for a range of services and facilities, not just for residents and apartment tenants and any daycare services that we provide, but also for local communities. So in the villages we have independent living apartments, we have a village centre where we have bistros, a gym, we have libraries, internet cafe, hairdressers. We have a lot of function rooms where people can actually come into the village from the community, so we're not just a closed setting. We have people live in 6 households within each village, and in each of those households there's a maximum of 12 people living as a family in a household with staff, which provide 24-hour nursing and dementia care. We also provide sensory gardens and open spaces to every household, and we provide services to the wider communities in terms of Belong at Home, which is home care, specialised daycare, and access to all the village facilities for the wider community, including events and activities. So just a few statistics. I'm going to do the business cell as Dragon's Den. So in 2017-18, we supported 690 people in our 24-hour care households. We provided 60,000 hours of home care. 178 people lived independently in our apartments, and we provided 4,600 days of specialist daycare. 72% of our household residents are living with dementia, and they're living well with dementia. And 100% of our villages have been rated good or outstanding by CQC, which we're very, very proud of. So customers are at the heart of all that we do, and by providing person-centred care, we support people to live life to the full. Our aim is to ensure that our customers feel safe, included, heard and understood. So I'm going to pass over to Natalie for her to describe how Belong is supporting people within our villages and from the wider communities, from the LGBT community, to feel safe and included and heard and understood, but also feel engaged with the Belong villages. Hello.
So, coming into Belong, obviously we work with many services, and one of the things that we've actually held this year was the first ever Silver Pride. Why would we want to hold the Silver Pride? After talking to a lot of our village customers, and obviously the organisations we work with like Body Positive and Silver Rainbows, there was a real need for a pocket of community that needed a Pride event that was more tailored to their likes, their needs. I mean, this was a generation of the creators of Pride events across the country. And they felt that it was more aimed at a younger generation now. They wanted a quiet area to sit and reminisce about times gone past. And also somewhere that they felt comfortable in coming out, because a lot of them couldn't do that. How can people access the care and support? Well, that's quite simple, really. You know, you can contact local organisations that are within your area. We have great support with Body Positive and Silver Rainbows. We've held small groups, sessions which involve crafting, laughing yoga, to start these conversations. And these collaborations were not costly at all. You know, it was tea and coffee and a space to chat. And the conversations became key to opening people's minds towards LGBT and this generation, you know, that has been so closed and hidden. How do we share our learning? Conversations with staff from when we've held the Silver Pride event was that they thought they were really well trained in being open-minded and diversity and equality, but through running these events they found that there were questions that they'd never even contemplated, you know, that never even crossed their mind of really how to support someone that is of an older generation now that lives as openly as LGBT or doesn't. And it was more understanding and the impact of this, the more positive we are around supporting these events and sessions and holding these conversations, the more we find that we're opening and raising awareness, and that isn't something, again, that is costly to train the staff to deliver that, or even just yourself. What are the implications and the approach, and how things would be different for the people if we did hold Silver Pride or these training sessions would be that people through lack of knowledge may not understand what you're trying to achieve. You know, you still have this closed mindset. But the benefits, if you did, would be to a community that don't feel ready or to support the knowledge. It would be so beneficial to be stopping people to be remaining hidden from actually the reality of what is out there. So that is the reason we held the Silver Pride this year, and we're holding the next one next year, and we're exceptionally delighted to be working with Body Positive on that.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much, Stacey and Natalie. That's great. So, some questions.
Thank you. Having just relinquished the role of a carer, what's your staff turnover?
It's in line with the average turnover nationally. It's about 30, I think it's 32%, something like that.
Okay. And your clients, or call them clients, do they normally get the same care going in?
They do, yeah. We have a very stable workforce. Like everybody, we have problems on nights. And I'm not going to say we don't, but we do try and make sure that we have constant care. In the households, the same staff will work the same, will work the rota, and they're part of that family, very much so.
Thank you.
Perhaps you can tell me a bit more about why would LGBT people be reluctant to engage with residential care services?
Well, that's purely because they feel that we don't understand. I mean, I spoke to a lot of people. I'm heterosexual, I'm married, and it's not. I've gone into this purely because as I've started working with these organisations, I've really started to listen to people, and they're telling me, I don't want to live in care. I'm worried about going into hospital. What will that person think of me? And what will the people that I actually tend to go and live with make assumptions? So then they're going back into the closet. You know, it's very difficult to get the message out there, the purpose of why we are focusing, or I'm focusing on this at the moment. Yeah. Does that answer your question, Colin?
There's none. You were talking about the village being a resource for people living around the village. Equally, is the environment around the village a resource for people in the village? Does that make sense? So that the people who are being supported in themselves, are they able to access all the resources there are in that neighbourhood?
It's really a two-way road, really. The communities accept, well not accept, but they welcome and embrace the village, and village members go out, but obviously the tenants in the community, our household residents will go out to functions and events and are part of the community. I don't know, do you want to say something about your...
Yeah, so I'm the experience coordinator, and basically there's one that many things I'm passionate about, but community. So I don't feel that if you come in to live in a supported living environment, as I like to call it, that your community stops, you know, that door closes. And a lot of our customers, they will, whether they've done the full journey, which could be living in the community, to being an apartment tenant, to coming on the specialised day support service, or inevitably coming to live on a household. We embrace everything, that journey is there. You will see our customers on the household eating in the bistro. You will see them going, having their hair done. On a Friday, I take people in the community, we go swimming. You know, it's that whole journey and that whole lifestyle that we want to keep. Schools coming in, we're going to schools going out. We're working on projects that are leading the way on really of how I would eventually like to be living in supported living.
Yeah. Okay, thank you both very much.
Thank you. And finally, Jeanette, waited very patiently, but Jeanette is here from Manchester Care and Repair, and over to you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can and I'm from an organisation called Manchester Care and Repair. It's a local charity and it was established almost 30 years ago. It's called a home improvement agency, and I'll explain a little bit more about that. Whilst I'm very supportive of all the schemes that have been spoken of already, the bulk of older people actually live in general needs housing rather than retirement accommodation or sheltered or extra care. And it's that group of people that our charity seeks to support. We are funded by NHS Manchester Clinical Commissioning Group and Manchester City Council to deliver a range of services. The funding we receive is never enough, so we actively fundraise and make applications to charitable grant-giving bodies so that we can make every pound go that little bit further. We offer a range of services to promote independence and well-being in older age. We work with Manchester residents who are aged over 60 primarily, or those of any age who are living with a disability. We operate several services which I'll describe very, very briefly. We operate a home from hospital service that telephones every over 60 Manchester resident after they've been discharged from hospital following an inpatient stay or an A&E attendance. And that phone call is a means of introducing them to our low-level preventative support services. We look at people's homes. We don't offer care as in personal care. We just have a very caring approach. We operate an enhanced home from hospital service that actually physically escorts vulnerable residents home, settles them in, does an emergency shop, puts some credit on the prepayment meter, that kind of thing. We operate a handy person service which can do those little jobs around the home that either a resident used to do themselves but no longer can, or the kind of job where it's very difficult to attract a tradesperson to do because it's only a small job. That service also undertakes falls prevention measures such as installing handrails, grab rails, second stair rails, that kind of thing. And that service is completely free. It's not means tested and it's available to any Manchester resident aged over 60. There aren't many free handy person services in this country, and we're very proud and have fought very hard to maintain that. The falls prevention measures that we install are also free. And last year, we undertook almost 6,500 handy person jobs. 30% of those were probably related to work to facilitate a hospital discharge or prevent a fall. So if care and repair wasn't about, those 6,500 jobs wouldn't have been done. We also operate a caseworker service, and that's a home visiting service, and it's helping people to navigate the complex welfare benefit social care system. We have a very small team, but they're very, very able, and last year they assisted, as a part of their work, not exclusively their full role, they assisted 300 clients to make successful welfare benefit applications for £1.5 million worth of additional annualised income. That's £1.5 million that wouldn't have been in the pockets of those 300 or so individuals. So what makes care and repair unique? I've already mentioned the free provision of services. Also the fact that we're home visiting. We're not web-based. We're not an automated telephone system. And we also offer a free technical support service, which is like a surveying and project management service to help people who haven't got the skills or the capacity to undertake major repairs and improvements to their home. And last year we undertook almost £800,000 worth of repair and improvement work for people. So that's Care and Repair, a home improvement agency. There are other home improvement agencies around the country, but Care and Repair is a little bit special. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jeanette. Questions for Jeanette? No, you've answered it all in your presentation. Thank you very much. That's great. So you've heard from all 5 of our pitches this afternoon, giving us some very, very different perspectives on what the future of older people's housing care and support might look like, should look like, can look like with organisations like this in the driving seat. But let's have a think about what those presentations meant to you. What were the things that came up for you in those discussions? So what we'd really like is for the next 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how discussions go, for you to have a talk on your tables about anything that you thought about those presentations and any questions that you might have for the pitches. And then you'll have an opportunity to ask any further questions. Then we're going to look to the dragons here to come to some conclusions or final thoughts before we close the session. So just for 5 or 10 minutes, just to have a discussion on your tables about what you've heard and what you think of it, what questions you have, and we'll feed back about that in shortly. Thank you.
that